All right, in Chapter 10, Part 5, we were talking about the quadratic formula. And we are going to start with problem 42, x squared minus 5x minus 4 equals 0. And we want to make sure that's in standard form, which it is. And now we are going to identify a, b, and c. So looking at my coefficients, a is 1, b is -5, and c is -4. So we're going to start there, and then we're going to plug it in. Now this is kind of set up for you. This will not always happen. It's just kind of nice in the beginning here to see how it's done. So anytime we have a b, we're going to plug in a -5. Anytime we have an a, we're going to plug in a 1. And c becomes -4. In your calculator, you can plug this in. So I would do an open parenthesis, -5, close it, do the square button, -4 times 1 times -4. So we have x equals negative times -5 plus or minus the square root of 41. Now what divided by 2. What happens is these two negatives, kind of looks like a face there, these two negatives are going to turn to positives. This actually becomes x equals +5, because a negative and a negative make a positive, plus minus the square root of 41 divided by 2. Now this here is what we call radical form, but we also want to find the decimal. So in your calculator, you will do 5 plus the square root of 41, press enter, and then divide the whole thing by 2, and you should get something around 5.7. And then you do x equals 5 minus the square root of 41, the whole thing divided by 2, to get something around -0.7. So we are finding the x-intercepts, but in this case they are now decimals. They are not nice whole numbers. So we would say that x is equal to 5.7 and x is equal to -0.7. So we are finding the x's through the quadratic formula. Next, we're going to jump down to number 46, and the first thing you should notice is that this is not in standard form. So we are going to subtract 15 on both sides. So 4x squared plus 7x minus 15 is now equal to 0. I'm going to identify my a, which is 4, b, 7, and c, -15. And now we're going to plug this into the quadratic equation. So we have x is equal to -b, so -7, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 7 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c, which is -15. The whole thing divided by 2a, so 2 times 4. So again, in the calculator, we are only plugging this part in right now. 7 squared minus 4 times -15. So x is equal to -7 plus or minus the square root of 289, I believe, over 8. 2 times 4 is 8. So in your calculator, we will split this up, and we're going to plug in x is equal to -7 plus the square root of 289, the whole thing divided by 8, which will give us 5/4. So x is equal to 5/4. And then we'll take x is equal to -7 minus the square root of 289 divided by 8, which x will be -3.